Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. Is the luxury industry scared, fashion luxury industry, of the luxury bubble bursting? Well, there are several articles online reporting about this, and I mean, we're towards the end of 2023 now, and kind of the numbers are kind of rolling in slowly, like how did the sales do of this company, that company, stocks for the companies that are public, how are the stocks doing? What is happening. And so one of the articles says the luxury industry is afraid of luxury bubble bursting. Valentino, chairman, gives a gloomy outlook for the luxury sector, and luxury stocks take major tumble, including LVMH and Kering. Now, those are just a couple of headlines, could you imagine, of the situation. And listen to this. First, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Push the join button next to the subscription button. Become a member today. Gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon. Superdacob all spelled together there as well for extra perks. Thank you to my members and patrons who have already pledged. This video is being filmed live in front of a live virtual audience. I live stream several times a week, and you're all welcome to join the live streams. Yeah, we'll go. Thumb up this live stream if you're enjoying, and this video if you're enjoying it. Hi to my co-chatters. Listen. So the Business Times is reporting that the troubles of the luxury industry are not just happening, but they are mounting. Okay? So the department stores in the US are struggling. And we've seen this. I've just reported about this about a week or two ago. Do you guys remember? We were talking about Neiman Marcus being probably sold to Bergdorf Goodman, but we're not so sure what's going to happen. Maybe now there's an update on that news, but Neiman Marcus is about to, is at the brink of bankruptcy, allegedly. And everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's alleged, just my opinion. And China is failing to live up to expectations as a growth motor in the post-pandemic world. And can I add one more point to this in the article that the article does not touch base on? China has been producing most of relatively regular main consumer goods, but also quite a few luxury goods. And have you noticed that since the lockdown and since the pandemic, China has a lot of shutdowns. They've also been producing less. They're reopening very slowly. Also, tourism from China into Europe and into America has slowed down, is really not recovering. So all of these luxury brands are not selling as much as they used to because the Chinese tourists are missing. But what I have personally noticed since the pandemic is over, and this is a euphemism, I want to say maybe even 95% of the products that I purchase are flawed. And this is not just the Chanel 255 bag peeling after 20 minutes of wearing it, which is terrible enough and allegedly made in Italy and not in China, but was it made in a sweatshop? We don't know. Anyway, we digress. Allegedly, everything. But the products that I'm purchasing lately, everything is flawed. Everything is flawed. I purchased a bed made in China, flawed. I had to send it back. Purchased the lights for my studio off Amazon. They arrived, one light was broken, didn't work. The adapter of the other light didn't work, had to send it back. Went to Spirit Halloween to purchase a Chucky Jack-in-the-Box made in China. Arrived home, opened it up. The clamshell that the Jack-in-the-Box was in was placed on the Jack-in-the-Box before the paint job of the sculpture was dry. So basically, the entire red paint of the hair was attached to the plastic clamshell. Had to bring it back. Purchased a new TV. Hooked it up. Arrived home, hooked it up. In one corner of the TV, made in China. There's a black shadow, brand new, have to bring it back. Went to Walmart, purchased a toaster, brand new toaster. Came home, unboxed it. There's a huge scratch running across the entire side of the toaster. This is quality control issues, okay? Have to bring the toaster back. Purchased toys. China is just not printing anymore all the colors on the toys. Like you bring the toy back, like there's like teeth are missing. They're not printed. I have an example here, which I'm preparing for another video. But look, I got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Interesting, because this is blue, not green. Why is it appearing? Anyway, he's supposed to have white teeth, not painted. His wings are supposed to be painted with purple dots, not paint. There's paint missing on this figure. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the 80s. Anyway, guilty pleasure. Chanel, same problem. Louis Vuitton. I purchased a Louis Vuitton Kirigami pouch set. They're not stitched properly. Somebody squished some heat thing into the canvas and melted it. Like, we're talking on every level. Consumer goods went down the drain. Like, it's really, really hard to purchase something and be happy with it when you come home inspecting it. There's going to be a flaw. Paint jobs are terrible on many different goods, on bags, luxury bags, clothes, thread is missing, button falls off 5 seconds after you wore a $3,000 shirt because they were too quick to sew the button on. I mean, I bought a Chanel eye palette and I opened it up, the Byzance eye palette, and the gold plastic, not metal, kind of hammered effect was not printed properly. And there was like a whole chunk of plastic missing. There was like a black hole where there should be gold. So it's happening on every level. Okay. And this is a huge problem. And the consumer on one end is becoming more used to it. I think younger generations kind of complain less. They're kind of used to this is the standard, this is the new norm. But for us who have also experienced a time where quality was a little bit better, I'm not saying much better, at least a little bit better, like we noticed the difference. We noticed the lack of quality. I had to go through many of these Chanel $200 lipsticks, okay, to find one that doesn't have a scratch inside of the metal container that's inside this glass. Like we're talking on every level. Every level. So prices are going up, quality is going down, and the article says that it's dashing hopes for another resilient year for the luxury sector. Okay, 2022, they say already defined gloomy headlines, but to grow by as much as 20% in some locations, according to Rachid Mohamed Rachid, chairman of fashion house Valentino. He says, he's quoted here to have said, "We came into 2023 with a prediction that luxury will probably grow 10%, Rachid said in an interview with Bloomberg TV. He continues saying, "We have seen very strong signs that it will be much worse." So we're talking, they went in thinking they're going to have 20% growth. Then they dialed down their expectations to 10% growth because money ain't coming in. Now they're telling us, yeah, it's not even going to be 10%. It's going to be much worse than even 10% growth. Bain in June estimated that personal luxury goods market, which includes handbags, ready-to-wear, would grow between 5 and 12% this year, depending on the pace of the recovery in China, where severe lockdowns were happening for much of the last year. But this isn't happening. People are not really traveling from China. So this is also speculation. This 5 to 12% might not happen. Might not happen. Then, again, another quote. The picture isn't as rosy as expected in China where there's been a slow recovery this year. Rahid said, "In Europe, we see that tourists are spending on hotels and restaurants, but then there's not much left afterwards to spend on luxury goods. And the Chinese tourists haven't returned." Do you guys remember a couple of months ago, I made a video talking about Gen Z and the new generations in general that are growing up that are favoring spending money on experiences rather than objects and products. And we made a whole video about this on my channel, so you can go check that one out as well, noting that a lot of these luxury brands have smelled the coffee and literally started opening up coffee shops and restaurants. Dior started opening up restaurant experience. Louis Vuitton, LVMH opened up in Doha Airport an entire lounge/restaurant experience. Gucci is opening up restaurants worldwide for a Gucci experience where you can eat, pay good money to eat Gucci branded food. The Versace spa hotel resorts that have been around for a while now, and they're closing in many countries. Different story. But there's a lot of these major brands. Chanel having a cafe at the top of one of their boutiques in Tokyo. So these brands are aware of this. They are going in that direction. They're realizing, okay, we got to keep earning money somehow. Louis Vuitton wanted to open a luxury hotel on Rodeo Drive. Thank goodness the city council decided not to allow them to do that. But you would have had a Louis Vuitton hotel, luxury rooms, luxury dining. It's not just about buying the bag anymore, buying the clothes, because that money isn't coming in. So we talked about this a couple of months ago on my channel, and now it's becoming even more apparent when all of these articles are coming out saying that people are spending money if they're going to travel to Europe, where European luxury brands cost less, right, than in other countries, because of the exchange rate and because there's no import taxes to be paid. If the product is produced in Europe, it's sold in Europe, it's cheaper in Europe. But they're saying there's still not money left. They budget restaurants, they budget hotels, and that's what they budget. And then they fly back home. The gloomier picture is fueling more talk of consolidation after Kering agreed to buy a 30% stake in Valentino in July. Yeah, that happened. Kering purchased 30% of Valentino for 1.7 billion euro, that is $2.5 billion. Tapestry Inc. Remember, we spoke about Tapestry. They just purchased Michael Kors, who purchased Versace, owner of brands including Coach, and they just purchased Coach as well, and Kate Spade. They also agreed to acquire Michael Kors' parent Capri Holdings. You remember we made a whole video about this a couple of weeks ago. In a $8.5 billion deal just last month. And the cosmetics firm Estee Lauder has taken over Tom Ford for $2.8 billion. What we're seeing happening here, you guys, it's unfolding right before our very eyes. This is, and I know you've heard it a lot on TikTok, people talk about late-stage capitalism. This is late-stage capitalism. This is the last attempt to purchase up whatever is left, create just one company to own them all, and to try to save a buck or two. But late-stage capitalism also has to calculate a little thorn in its thigh, and that would be that the consumer is waking up. Especially thanks to TikTok and channels like mine that actually try to keep the conversation rolling, even though on YouTube you're going to mostly see luxury channels doing the unboxings and act like there's nothing wrong with the world. That's not me. But TikTok is really good at raising awareness about this. This is coincidentally also why a lot of the corporations in America are really trying hard to shut TikTok down, because they don't want you to hear what is happening. They don't want you to hear, how you're being fooled, how you're being scammed into spending your money, and how all that money is being funneled into just a couple of two to three major corporations that own everything, that own your pension fund as well. You see, that own healthcare funds as well. Oh, they're playing with your money, honey. Oh, they're investing for their own purposes, your money, your pension funds, okay? Do you get to profit off of it? No. This money needs to go back to the people. After all, the people have earned it with tears, sweat, and blood. But we're being made a fool. The new generations are waking up. Gen Z knows that it's all a scam. And they're spending less and less money. So for the brands, it's really hard to indoctrinate the younger generations and to teach them into being okay with overspending for a luxury good. You cannot fool the Greta Thunberg generation. Those kids are clever. They're not as dumb as we used to be when we were growing up. And I'm saying this, unfortunately, I wish we were more clever, but like, I'm totally guilty as charged, like total victim of consumer society here, trying to, slow down and just really purchase what makes me kind of happy or what I think makes me happy, but I'm still very much manipulated. But I say, you know what? Good for Gen Z. Good for Gen Z. There is hope in the new generation. I think the kids of today, a lot of them are dumb as bread, but some of them are really, really clever. And if the future is in the hands of the clever ones, then there's hope for humanity. Otherwise, we're just doomed to fail. But this is really, really fascinating subject. And before the Kering deal, the article says, which has yet to close with Valentino, Valentino was planning for an initial public offering. Listen to this. They were trying to go into the public, but another corporation said, no, don't give anything to the people. We got to keep all of this in our hands. So they were planning for an initial public offering to create a more institutional arrangement and attract better talent, said Rahid, who is also chief executive officer of Qatar's Mehula, the investment fund that owns Valentino and French fashion house Balmain. Kering's investment, however, helps with both those goals, he said. Interesting. So Kering is going to take more and more stakes in Valentino. They're speculating that Kering might actually buy over all of Valentino. Like, they're speaking of a potential full takeover. It's also possible that Mehula from Qatar will become a Kering shareholder, according to Rahid. Then he says, the intention really is to get more integrated together, but at the same time to expand the horizon of the luxury investment. I don't think, Rahid, I'm sorry, dear, but expanding the horizon of luxury investment by conglomerating everything and pressing it all into one mold, that's globalization at its finest, and it never ends well because you're going to lose all the characteristics, personality, DNA of the brand, of the heritage, of the culture that the brand comes from. It's all going to go lost, in my opinion. High-end fashion isn't the only area feeling the squeeze. Earlier this month, LVMH said demand for champagne would soften in 2023. They're selling less champagne. People don't got the money for that. Then Philippe Schaus, who heads the wines and spirits unit at LVMH, said inflation had started to curb consumers' appetite for the drink. Luxury stocks take major tumble. Richemont, Kering, LVMH all tumble. Yahoo Finance reports that they have fallen off tremendously, reversing their year-to-date profit gains. Morgan Stanley analysts have decreased the price targets for both Kering and LVMH, and additionally downgraded Richemont to an equal weight rating. The luxury market is anticipated to face a slowdown in demand in the coming year. It's insane. I mean, you guys, sure, we all on YouTube, the luxury community, we're used to also just clicking, that luxury content creator, they're doing another Hermes unboxing. Oh, they just have another Hermes haul. Like, it's easy to kind of fall to think that that's the norm, because a lot of the key players on luxury YouTube, they're going to keep playing like nothing is going on, and they're going to make you feel like a fool. They're going to make you feel like an idiot, because you're going to be asking yourself, well, hold on a minute. I can barely make ends meet. How are these people still affording like a Birkin every week, brand new from the boutique? Like, what is going on here? Like, okay, so I guess everybody else is living the normal life as usual, happy, 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 but it's just me, the sucker, who's doing worse. No, you're not the sucker who's doing worse. Over 95% of us are doing worse. It's just the 1% to 5% of the idiots out there that gain money not through YouTube. They got their sketchy, shady businesses. They got their stuff going on in the background. The hubbies, the wifeys, they all have they deal in stuff. Okay, that's where the money's coming in. And that's how a bag can be purchased and shown to you as if it's totally natural to purchase a $10,000 bag once a week. Just living my YouTuber happy life. That's an illusion. And it's an incorrect portrayal of the reality we're living in right now. So yes, some people have more money, some people have less money, but I do believe that it is important, especially in social media, to become a little bit more honest for the sake of our fellow co-humans and just say it like it is. Put some money aside. I bought myself something really special and expensive. Next month, I'm not going to. And you move on with it. And it's like, okay, times are tough. My decision, if I want to go in minus, buy something on credit, yeah, a lot of people say don't do it, don't do it. And I also would say don't do it. But it's your choice. Do it. But don't act on camera like everything's easy. Life is a doozy. No, it's not. It's really hard. It's really hard at the moment for almost everybody. And it kind of saddens me to see that still, when it comes to luxury content on YouTube, there are certain channels that really act a fool, like nothing is wrong. Nothing ever happened. Economical crisis? Where? And they make you feel like you have to act that way too. I find that very irresponsible towards your viewers. The viewers that you're leading towards believing that they should also have a life like that everything is fine, that it's their mistake that they're going through a financial crisis. Now, I'm not going to mention any names, but you know who you are and you know who they are. And I find it a little bit sick at this point. I've been on YouTube for almost 10 years now. I've seen a lot, okay? I've seen a lot come and go. I've seen a lot stay. And some people just did not evolve. Some people did not evolve at all. It's really, really disappointing. Some people, like evolution, no. Their brain cells, their intentions, their morals are stuck in 2014, okay? But they're living in 2023. And it's just, I'm like, come on, people, wake up. You, the viewer, wake up. IYK, YK. Because this luxury bubble, honey, it burst. It burst. We're just collecting the ricochet. It's the ricochet. It's the ricochet. The ricochet. And the ricochet of luxury. Okay? It's the ricochet of luxury. Those pellets have burst. They've popped. And now it's us, the lemmings collecting the ricochet relics. Whatever's left over, little tidbits here and there. That's what's left of luxury. That's what's left of luxury. Creativity is done. All of these brands. Look what Gucci just did. Look at the travesty. Sure, wearable clothes. Yeah, they're playing it safe with the new artistic director. And I'm doing this because directing he is not. He's following orders by superiors telling him, you better make this sellable. Play it safe, Miss Thing. No space for creativity. That's the economical world we're living in right now. Fashion is dead. Luxury, you can buy some heritage pieces here and there. Make sure that the quality isn't too terrible. Inspect them so that they don't have the flaws that they inevitably will have, because nobody cares about quality control anymore. Why would these brands want to invest money in quality control when they can save money from that? Wake up, people. It's the ricochet of luxury. You heard it here first. Love you loads. Subscribe, thumb up the video if you've enjoyed it. Give us a hand here because YouTube does not promote not so advertiser-friendly content like mine. So the only way that I can actually grow my channel is through word of mouth and you guys supporting me. Sharing the link to the video and thumbing it up, commenting in the comment section. The more engagement I get, the more the video gets views. Love you loads. Until next time, never give up on love. Bye.